Hello and welcome people of the YouTubes to Project Cars, which is a game I'm doing some practice on for reasons that will become apparent as part of this update video. So, yeah, we've now got back to an almost regular recording session, ignore the last few days where I've not uploaded anything, but we're definitely continuing with Dune 64, we definitely have some more Persona 4 in the pipeline, and I might have another game going on when we run out of Persona 4 episodes, but the plan is to try and alternate between them and then do other kind of projects around the weekend and various bits and pieces around that. So, the first of these sort of, I suppose, plans and future stuff, which we do have a channel for in our Discord, by the way, Discord link below if you're interested in joining us. And one of the things that's been rattling around there for quite a while is an event we did about 4 years ago. Or rather, an attempt we tried 4 years ago, got to be honest, that wasn't very successful, and that was the Le Mans 2.4 hour. So we basically were planning to stream a 2-hour race of Le Mans with a 20-minute qualifying session, just so it would be as close as possible to 2.4 hours. And yeah, with as much as possible, all the rules enforced. We wouldn't have the tracking lines as I do at the moment. By the way, this is post-commentary. I'm just literally just talking over my last practice session, where I'm relearning the track to a certain extent, and also the car. But yeah, it's an event we had on. There were about 5 of us who did it. Dylan's, Marijin, Aegon, Commissar, and myself. Aegon got disqualified off the start line, and then I think it ended up with Aegon winning because he got further than anybody else. Commissar second because while he was quite a bit slower than Aegon, he did at least make it further than myself and Marijin. We were both disqualified. I got disqualified on this corner for cutting it, actually, 40 minutes into the race when it started pouring down with rain. Oh dear. So we're going to restart that. We'll obviously hope to get a bit further into the game than we did last time, but I may take steps to resolve things. We might have it as sort of a 2.4 hour and then give the fastest lap a reward or bonus point. I don't know. Random trophy for fastest lap, random trophy for most improved, and whatever. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, there is we basically can have a lobby up to 12 players. So if you want to join us, just let me know in the things and future stuff chat Discord thingy-majiggy, and I will add you up to the sign-up list. Another thing that we're going to be doing this weekend, possibly. Oh, that was not good. Thankfully, this is just the warm-up lap where I'm just trying to keep my tyres intact. Other thing that I'm planning to do, hopefully this weekend, is another game of Dune, which I really enjoyed playing, and a few of the other people did. But obviously it's this long 6-player game that I will probably stream either 2 PM on Saturday or Sunday, depending on when we get the 6 players together. And of course, if we don't have that many, we might do something else. We shall see. So, just about to go into the flying lap of this race. So, what I am currently in is in an Audi V10, which is one of the Road B cars. Not the Road B car I did when we did this last time. I figured I'd try something different. And yeah, I've learned 3 things about this car, really. Firstly, that it's about on pace with the others, which makes sense. It's in the same category. Second, it appears to chew through its tyres. And third, it's not that much better at fuel consumption. With the current way we got things set up, so I think it's real fuel consumption and tyre wear, I think we've got doubled. It can do 11 laps on fuel, and it might be able to last 4 in actual tyre conditions. Otherwise it gets extremely floaty. Anyway, let's go and analyze this lap a little bit. Oh, by the way, I always race this game internally, but when we get to the race proper, I'll probably have the guidelines off. They're only showing the braking points for the moment, and even towards the end of this lap, I think I was kind of ignoring them in favour of my old braking points. Because there are various references I used on the map when I did this last time, and it was just remembering where they were and making sure that it still worked with the car. There are a couple of points you'll notice, I think, on this, that I brake a bit early and end up just kind of floating towards the end, because I mistimed it. There's one of the signposts on the right, which I use. It's actually not even next to the track, it's one next to it, and it's there. So that one. That is where I brake. And as I say, I did that a little early, had to sort of lift off, and then, yeah, got into the chicane nicely and straight away. In terms of my usual lap times of what I can manage, I've done a 420 around here, which, you know, is extremely good, but I'm typically around 430. 430 I would consider an okay lap. 430 426, I think, is what I managed here, I think. Spoilers, but hey, it's fine. Yeah, and I can do the first sector in a 130 flat, so there's improvements to be gained here. And here, again, I braked slightly too early. Either this car is slightly better on the brakes, I use the 150 board as my brake marker on this corner, or, yeah, what was I using? I think I was using the Aston Martin Vanquish for this. The other consideration we've got with this is that we're still using basically road tyres on Road 2 cars. If we go out to GT3, we'll have racing tyres, which might actually be able to survive a few laps. But this is a course that is all about high speed and then heavy braking zones. So tyre wear is something that happens here. This was very clumsy. I normally go a bit deeper into the first part of this hairpin before I start braking. I went early and then coasted and then braked again, which is not the way you want to do it. The only consideration, I suppose, with that is you don't really want to be braking and turning at the same time, because that just chews up your tyres even worse. Nothing really much to talk about on the back straight. But yeah, and the other cool thing with the 2.4 hour Le Mans is that we will have the time progression on 10 times, so we will have a reasonable number of hours in the dark. So, you know, proper Le Mans style, and we will probably add a couple of changes of weather. Obviously, it will start dry. We don't want to ruin everybody's day initially, but 2 changes of weather through the race, which will be random, so we won't know what they are. They might be torrential downpour, it might just be fog. Fog and night sounds very fun, or, you know, thunderstorm and fog sounds fun. We can do that too. I think we could set it to actual weather in there, which might even be snow at this time of year, who knows. But I don't think they would race around Le Mans in the snow, although maybe they do, I don't know. Anyway, coming up to the end of the second sector, this is reasonable. I managed to recover a little bit of time here, but again, the main thing time loss was on that end corner here. Going into the last sector, I felt this went reasonable for me, if I'm remembering this right, but I always find this sector clumsy. It's a bunch of medium speed corners that kind of link together, and I've never quite got the hang of syncing all of these up, which is why I look very clumsy. Maybe if I was using an actual steering wheel, I'd be able to do this a bit smoothly, but you can tell I'm on a pad, and that's why I'm jerking around all over the place, and it looks slightly dodgy. There's ways to do this smoother, which would just give me speed on the basis that I'm not correcting myself all the way. I prefer the car to be slightly oversteering in any case, because I find that easier to correct, but in that sector it's really bad. 2 chicanes, do not cut the chicanes, because it's a very easy way to lose your time. And across the line in what will be about a 426, as I said. So that's a good lap for me, in all honesty. 426 is, I think, what I qualified with in the last time I did this, so at least I'm around as consistent as I was 4 years ago, which is something. And here I decided to go overly aggressive into the first corner and screw it up. Unfortunate. Thankfully, it's on the slow corner, so I can just recover, and now my race is basically, can I continue to close in on that gap? And I do. So basically, I'm just deciding to just practice this because, you know, practice is always required. That could well happen in a race. And this track is long enough that you can probably make a couple of mistakes here. Even this isn't great because I went wide on that corner, compromised my entrance into here. Kind of recovered this one. This is where I now start to use my braking points a little bit more. So that is the correct braking point for there. Right on the edge, although admittingly a bit of oversteer. So, yeah. Not maximum speed going into this, but this is, you can make a lot of speed up if you get that corner correctly. Also, you'll notice my tyres are already destroyed after what is now my start of third lap. My front left is basically gone, which, yeah, it's going to be fun. So, as mentioned, on the side here, you'll see my braking point coming up. It's that sign there, those two, done. Hard on the brakes. And that puts me almost perfectly for there. Now, maybe I should not be full on brakes for there. Maybe I should brake early and less hard. But that works for me, and I'm about as fast as I was last time. So I didn't actually gain that much time back. I'm still about 4.4 down. Anyway, move over to the right-hand side. We're looking for the 150 braking board on this side, which is coming up out now. I think I lift slightly before it on this run. Nope. I actually got after the 150 board because I noticed I was braking too. It didn't stop me any time, and this is reasonable. I'm slightly too quick here. As you can see, I have my exit's a bit compromised, but overall that was better than it did last time. I didn't lose time, you know, floating on entry. I just had a bit of floating on exit. Alright, into the third time. Now this I do a lot better if I remember. And you can see I've already made up about 7 tenths on my lap. That was a 426, so I reckon there is definitely a 420 in me if I string this all together. But again, I float here, but that might also just be where I have to take that corner. Tire conservation is a thing I need to worry about, and you do not want to be braking and turning at the same time. You can avoid it. So, gap to the previous time down to 3 seconds, and we're on to this. Not too much really to do here. It's just a case of find your points. And remember not to brake on the second one, as I unfortunately did in the race far too often. Oh, and a bit of losing it here. Now here's the tire. Here's where the tire grip's starting to affect me a little bit, because I'm now oversteering a little bit more than I would normally. Even that's not the greatest, but I broke at the right point. I was about the right speed for that. In we go. I'm still about 3 seconds. In fact, I made a quarter of a second up on that one. Braking much later into this corner, slowest corner on the track, and I'm able to make much better use of that. And I make almost a second on that corner alone. And it's not impossible if I can string together, because I had a really bad last sector, relatively. It wouldn't be impossible for me to string this together. So I was actually 2.4 seconds quicker. So here I use the orange marker on the right to try and determine where I want to brake, and that is absolutely perfect. So you probably missed it, but on the barriers on the right, there's a bit of orange. That is my braking point for that corner in this car. And here I'm just trying to be a little more aggressive into each of these corners, because I know I can possibly nail the turn down, but it's still not smooth. And I think that's the thing. If I can get this smooth, here I'm kind of floating too fast, so, you know, I've compromised myself in the exit. Means I'm slower here than I would otherwise be. And now it is just attack the 2 chicanes at the end of the track and see if you can improve. And this, unfortunate. I braked far too early for that, then decided not to float, then decided to wait, and I just about avoid a corner cut penalty for that. That's actually faster, which it is weird in its own way, because that was not great, but I gained half a second out of that. 4:27.9 on that sort of thing. Awesome. And this is just my kind of lap to see if the tyre destruction actually makes a line bit of difference here. And now I'm already, you can see that's me braking for the corner. I am now struggling for braking at this point. The tyre's that far gone. So this should be hopefully a fun event. It's not something we're going to take seriously. I'm obviously competitive, so hence why I've done some practice on this. But, you know, all comers are welcome. We are not playing this for any kind of seriousness. It'll be the person who is not disqualified who wins. Oh. Yep, ignore that. That's definitely part of a track. I didn't cut. I'm actually surprised it didn't cancel my time, though. It's usually meaner than that. It's usually a lot meaner than that, actually. But anyway, yeah, just join the Discord. If you want to play some Dune with us, join the Discord, let us know, and we'll see if we can sign you in. I'll obviously give some priority to the Wibbliers or people who've played it before to actually help me teach the game, but, you know, you never know. And we'll announce additional stuff and things as they're going on. We're always having some random projects or whatever else. I'm always up for random tabletop simulator games in various things. Heck, I'm even up for a game of Mahjong occasionally, who knows. And yeah, when your tyres are gone, you have to brake far earlier, so that was me taking no chances with that and enjoying copious amounts of tyres not working. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm going to stop this video here because it's gone on for a bit long, so yeah. Project Cars, Lemons 2.4 hours. Until next time.